She cheated over a $3,000 Chanel bag, my response? So, my girlfriend went and stabbed me in the back over a $3,000 purse I wouldn't buy her, can you believe that? My name's Jake, I'm 27, and I was with this girl I'll call Luna, who's 26. We'd been together for over 2 years, things seemed solid, until last week when my world flipped upside down. I was at this work party, just unwinding with a couple beers, when me and my buddy Tom stepped outside for some air. That's when we spotted this slick blue Mercedes-Benz Cabriolet parked a couple buildings down by a hotel. Man, that car was a beauty, all shiny under the streetlights, and we figured it was empty, so we wandered over to check it out up close. As we got nearer, though, something felt off, the thing was rocking a little, like someone was inside. Then it hit us, there's a couple in there going at it. We stopped dead, cracking up, thinking we'd stumbled into some private show. We lit up a smoke, chuckling, but then the car door swings open, and I swear my heart dropped into my boots. Out steps Luna, fixing her hair, giggling at some dude she's with, and they stroll into the hotel, tossing the keys to the valet like it's nothing. Tom knew her too, he'd met her a few times, and he's standing there just as stunned as me. My laughs turned to ice, man, pure agony. I didn't recognize the guy, never seen him before, but there was my girl, arm in arm with him, heading inside like I didn't exist. Guess I should back up a bit since I dove right into the mess without laying the groundwork. I work as a sales exec for a big company now, but way back, I met Luna when I was pulling part-time shifts as a cashier at this supermarket while I was in college. She was the store assistant, hustling around, and we hit it off as pals. Nothing romantic sparked then, I was too swamped with school, and she didn't seem into me anyway. She'd dropped out of college herself to help her folks, working 2 jobs since she was 19, and I always admired how she gritted it out. Fast forward 5 years, I run into her again at that same supermarket, she's climbed up to floor supervisor by then. We grabbed coffee, caught up like old times, and I asked if she was seeing anyone. She said no, gave me this look like I was fishing for a date, and since I was flying solo, I figured why not? We swapped numbers, went for drinks the next weekend, and before I knew it, we were a couple over 2 years strong, or so I thought. While we were together, I kept nudging her to finish college, thinking it'd open doors for her career, but she'd say she couldn't swing it with her parents to support. At first, I felt for her, she was putting family first, right? But then I found out she was only sending them 25% of her cash. Her supermarket gig was steady, but those evening jobs? She bounced around like crazy, waitress 1 month, bartender the next, you name it. I told her to ditch one job, lean on the supermarket pay, and go back to school, but she shot that down hard. Said one paycheck wouldn't cut it for her life. I didn't push her call, her hustle, I respected it. Thing is, I had plans, man. I wanted her to get that degree, land a solid day job, because I was gearing up to pop the question in a few months. Her wild schedule was gumming up my dreams of settling down. I loved her, was dead serious about us, so I laid it out, I wanted marriage, a real life together, and her career mess was in the way. She brushed it off, said marriage and work don't mix like that. She claimed she wanted to tie the knot too, eventually, but loved her chaotic hustle. Said a 9 to 5 would bore her to death. Looking back, that might have been a warning sign, but I didn't clock it then. Luna wasn't big on saving, every dime she made went straight to her lifestyle. She was all about those high-end clothes, bags, sandals, the works. If you didn't know she worked retail, you'd peg her for some rich chick with how she strutted around. I didn't mind at first, just figured it was her thing, but I did try to nudge her to stash some cash away. She'd say she busted her tail, so she earned those splurges, fair enough, it was her money. About a year ago, she asked to move in with me. Her roommate was bailing to another city, and she couldn't cover rent solo. I was stoked, felt like we were leveling up, and I was all in on her. Told her not to worry about bills since I was already handling rent and utilities myself. She could pocket that cash, save it up. Money wasn't a big deal to me, her moving in didn't hike my costs much beyond some extra groceries, so I was cool with it. Then, 6 months back, I scored a promotion at work, big moment, man, I'd poured my soul into it. To celebrate, I took Luna out to this upscale joint for a candlelight dinner. She loved it, soaking in the fancy vibe, usually being the one serving drinks or waiting tables at places like that. She kept saying I was spoiling her, raising the bar, and I wanted to treat her right, like any guy would for his woman. Didn't know I was setting myself up to crash. After that night, she started dropping hints, well, more like quiet demands, that I take her out more, every weekend, and not to some burger joint, but the ritzy spots. I went along for a while, thinking she'd cool off, but nope. Then came the gifts. Out of nowhere, she's asking for stuff, pricey stuff, no special occasion, just because. Dresses, the newest iPhone, whatever caught her eye. Last month was her birthday, and I asked what she wanted, casual-like. She hits me with a Chanel bag, $3,000. I laughed, thought she was kidding, but she got all huffy, saying I was mocking her taste. I told her I wasn't, just couldn't take it serious, $3,000 for a purse? Come on. She doubled down, said with my raise, I should be spoiling her, that I hadn't gotten her anything big in 2 years. That floored me. I've been covering all our living costs since she moved in, paid for dates before that too, knowing she made less. She twisted it around, made me feel like a cheapskate for not stepping up. Said $3,000 was just 10 days pay for me, that some guys drop a whole month's salary on their girls. Sure, it's 10 days, but blowing it on a bag? Nah, I don't get the hype, people losing their minds over $50,000 sneakers or $10,000 belts. Not my game. I offered her the cash instead, said she could learn some skills, boost her job prospects. Lame, maybe, but practical. She called me stingy, rolled her eyes, and clammed up, definitely ticked off. Thought she'd shake it off after the bag fight, but nope. Her birthday eve, I cut out of work early, grabbed flowers, candles, a cake, and some Zara dresses she'd been eyeing. Planned a little surprise, waited up past midnight, she usually rolled in by then, but post-argument, she'd been late. Called her, no answer. Finally, she texts me, her work buddies threw her a party, she's crashing there. Gut punch, man, I'd set up this whole thing, and she's out with them. Didn't even invite me. I crashed on the couch, woke up when she stumbled in, drunk and happy. Saw my setup, hugged me, said sorry for bailing. Told her I took her birthday off to hang out, but she wasn't into it, had to work, wouldn't call in sick. I begged her to stay, but she blew me off, said a chill day at home sounded dull for her birthday. Said she's outgoing, wanted to be out. I pitched a day trip, she shot back her job was cooler than my plans. That snapped me, I let her go, mad as hell but biting my tongue since it was her day. Next few days, I tried patching things up, promised her next birthday would be a blast. She goes, better be Hawaii or bust. I just grinned, girls never left the state, and she's throwing out standards like that? Red flag, and this time I saw it. Started watching her closer, feeling something was rotten. Then, bam, last week at that office party, I catch her in that Mercedes with some dude, heading into a hotel. I wanted to charge in after them, but Tom held me back, said I'd get bounced by security. We waited outside a bit, but he dragged me home when it looked like they weren't coming out. I was a wreck, packed her stuff, dumped it outside. Woke up to her yelling about it, told her to go back to her rich fling. She goes, oh, you know? Good. Lost it, screamed when this started, she said I was too cheap, couldn't even buy her that Chanel bag, so she hunted rich guys. Cold as stone, she grabbed her junk and left. Blew my mind, cheating over money like that? 6 months later, I'm doing alright. Work sent me to Seattle for a month after the split, saved me, honestly. New place, new air, helped me heal fast. Blocked her everywhere, moved on mostly. Then a week ago, she shows up at my door, looking rough. I let her in, not mad anymore, just curious. She bawls, says sorry for wrecking us over trinkets, that I was the only one who loved her, others just wanted her body. Told her she got paid in gifts, can't call them users. She says she's done with fancy stuff, wants a real partner after 10 years hustling. I wished her luck, said I'm not that guy anymore. She begged for another shot, said she's broke, crashing on a friend's couch. Asked how, with 2 jobs, she admits there was no second job, just bar hookups for cash and gear. Floored me, she'd lied for 2 years, playing me while chasing rich dudes. Told her to leave, couldn't take her back after that. My buddy Tom said get an STD test, she'd been all over, might have passed something. Did it, came back clean, thank God. Just dodged a bullet there. Today, swung by that old supermarket. Ran into a guy I worked with back in the day, he said Luna got canned 3 months ago. Caught hitting on rich customers, even making out with one in the store. Warned once, then fired after the guy claimed she stole from him. Nobody saw her coming, normal at work, secret double life. She's toxic now, nobody'll hire her. Glad I got out when I did, 2 years was bad enough, some folks get tricked way longer. Check who you're with, meet their people, know them deep before you commit. That's my tale, take it for what it's worth.